Well, good morning. Today is Sunday, May 30th. Where is this month gone? I'm telling you, the older I get, the faster it goes by, and the slower my weight loss is. I'm telling you. We don't have any birthdays today. None. Not one. No anniversaries. Nothing. Nobody's told me. Nobody reminded me. I even checked my calendar from last year. No, nothing. Nilch, nothing. So, no songs. Ooh, what a way to start the day. You gotta sing sometimes. Today I was going to talk about being stubborn because I am very stubborn. As you know, I have been stubborn this week about accepting that certain things are certain colors. And even though the whole general consensus of all of you is that my Nike sweatshirt the other day was yellow, I'm here to prove you wrong because I am stubborn. I'm so stubborn. So I took a picture of just I must bring out the yellow in things, is the only thing I could think of. But I took a picture of just the sweatshirt, and then I took a picture of a paint chip of on the internet of cantaloupe orange. And I think they're pretty close in color. So I'm going to show you this picture right now. I know you're not going to tell me that still says yellow. And I am stubborn. I am so stubborn. I refuse to believe it. I really do. I feel like I have to go and knock on each one of your doors wearing the sweatshirt. Knock on the door. What color is this? Knock on the door. What color is this? Because you'll see. Now, I agree that this is green. No, I know it's blue. But anyway, but there are some things in life that you have to really stop being so stubborn about. And I'm really stubborn about my goals. I really am. I definitely want to reach my 100 pounds. I definitely want to get into Wonderland. I'm very stubborn about that. But I have to be a little bit more flexible in reaching those goals. And one of the ways I can be a little bit more flexible is to lower my expectations. Now, I know that doesn't sound like the right thing to do. You know, like you shouldn't lower your expectations. Like if you say you're going to climb a mountain, you don't say, well, I'll only go halfway and then I'll stop. No, you start mastering small little hills, and then you get to a bigger hill, and then you start a little small mountain, and then you go to a bigger mountain, and then to the big mountain that you want to climb. I have to be a little bit more flexible in my food choices, my portion sizes, and I have to stop being so stubborn because, like at the beginning of my journey, I could eat all of this. I went back to my journals from when I first started and was eating like that. Because I thought, I had really good weight loss at that point. I really did. I was doing really well. I was losing like 2-3 pounds a week. I was going really on plan. I followed it to a T, and I didn't lose any weight. And the reason being is because when I started my plan, I weighed 304.2 pounds. My body didn't require that many calories. So even though I had cut back tremendously to get to that, right now, that's still too many calories for my body at this weight. And if I want to lose weight, I have to lower the calorie count a little bit. But if I'm content to stay where I'm at, then I have to think, am I being stubborn or am I being realistic? Am I being reasonable? And I think I'm being stubborn. I really do. I really think I'm being stubborn. So I have to work on that. I have to be open for change. The older you get, the harder it is to change. I love watching The View. I really do love watching The View. And Joy Behar was always my favorite panelist on The View. Joy is close to 80 years old now. And I find from myself, and I find from thinking back to when my mother was my age, she always thought she was right. And I always think I'm right. And I think that all people at all ages always think they're right. But I think the older you get, the more entitled you think you are to your opinion. And Joy Behar thinks that she's a little bit more entitled to her opinion, and so therefore I think that she gives bad people the the bad name of what they truly deserve, because I find myself falling in that category sometimes myself. I just think because I've had so many life experiences, I know so much more than you. I do know a little bit more than somebody that's 20 years old. I'm not going to say that I don't, but that doesn't mean I have to hoard it over them. I let them learn. That's how I did. I dug my heels in when my mother told me things, because I thought, what do you know? We're going to change the world. You left us a world that's like in a really crappy place. Well, every generation feels that way, but every generation, I hope, does a little bit better than the previous generation. And I think some of it has to do with stubbornness, but a lot of it has to do with refocusing your goals, opening to change, opening your mind to different things that can help. So far, I'm doing fairly well for the weekend. I'm open to a change on my weekends. I'm stubborn about the fact that I think that I can eat whatever I want on the weekends. I'm doing a little bit better this weekend than I did last weekend. And I think that if I really stop being stubborn, which I have to keep saying that word because that's really what I'm being, is stubborn. I'm not following the guidelines that will help me to lose weight at a better pace until I realize that I have to think things a little bit through. I wrote down I don't know why. I think because all of the pollen is finally ending the trees, and so my throat's really getting kind of scratchy. I'm not sick. But I wrote down, being determined is not the same as being stubborn. Determined is a willingness to change. Stubborn is a refusal to change. Well, I am determined and I have the willingness to change. I really do. But am I too stubborn and am I refusing to change? And that's the question I'm going to ask myself this week. Are you so stubborn that you refuse to change your mind about certain things? I know I need to change up the way I eat. I really know that. I know my body is just so used to, okay, it's breakfast, this is what we're getting. Okay, she might eat lunch today, but if she has lunch, this is what she's going to have. And we know what she's going to have for dinner, and we know what she's going to do on the weekends. So, lay back. She's not going to throw anything new at us. It's like, like when you know what's coming, you think, okay, I don't need, like if you know all the answers to a test, you don't really study it because, like if you're always used to it. But if they were to change the test up a little bit for something that you didn't think that they were going to throw on it, then you're thrown for a loop. Because why didn't I study that? Because you were so stubborn thinking, I know everything. And that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm just too stubborn. And I don't think I have a willingness to change. And I'm determined this week to have a change in my stubbornness. You'll never change my mind about that sweatshirt. I know. And that, I'm digging my heels in all the way down as deep as they'll go, and I refuse to budge. And I welcome you to tell me that it was yellow, even now. I really do. But you're not going to convince me. But if you tell me that I'm eating too big a portion sizes, if you tell me that I'm eating too much of this and not enough of that, I'm going to accept that. I have a willingness to learn from that. I'm willingness to learn from you guys because you watch and see what I'm doing. And I feel better that I don't show my food, but sometimes I think I should show my food, but then, I don't know. I'm back and forth on that issue. I know a lot of you like to see my food, and a lot of times I just don't show it anymore because I eat the same thing. So if I ever do eat anything a little bit different, I'll show you. And that's my plan for this week, is try to eat a little bit out of my comfort zone, try to mix up my meals a little bit, learn from my lessons of life. I've learned that my body doesn't require as many calories as it did when I first started, because my body is not as big as it was when I first started. And until I really face that full force head on, it's not going to change. So I can still be a little bit stubborn, but I have to be more determined. And I have to be determined to change my mind a little bit. And that's my plan for this week. So I know, I'm stubborn. I know. I wish I wasn't, but I am. And it's like, and I'm not patient, and I know I'm stubborn, and I'm 70 years old. I'm trying to change. I really am trying. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but this old dog is willing to try. I really am willing to try. I'm going to prove it to myself this week that I'm not going to be stubborn, and I'm going to have a pretty good loss this week. I'm going to be determined, and hopefully you'll follow along with me. My question is, are you more stubborn or are you more determined? At this point in my life, this week, I'm more determined. Last week, I would have said stubborn. I really would have. But I'm curious, How did you approach last week, and how are you approaching this week? Last week I approached it with stubbornness, but this week I'm facing it with determination. So let me know how you're going to do this week. Let's see how we all do. Let's do well. Let's have a really fantastic June and have a really good, fantastic loss. Tomorrow I know is Memorial Day. A lot of us are going to have picnics or barbecues and stuff. That doesn't mean we have to go off the rails. We might be a little bit over our points. We might be over our calories, but it's one day. And really, if you think about it, it's one meal. So make sure you don't go crazy as tomorrow. And if you do go a little bit crazy on Tuesday, right back at it. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. As always, stay safe. Be determined this week, not stubborn.